Welcome to the show. I'm Matt Davidson.
Hey,
We
y'all.
have LL, Mark Henry,
What's going on,
and,
people?
and we have special guest Greg Eisworth from Iowa State.
Yes, sir.
SGP alum in the house. Okay, so we're going to start off with Greg, and then we're going to call Coach Tony Tademy of the newly Grand Prairie Gophers. So we'll start off right now with Mr. Greg Eisworth. Greg, man, long time no see. I started out interviewing you whenever I first interviewed my first high school player ever. And I built that bond with you. I met your parents. I love your parents. I love your dad. I love what you're about. You got a great story. Let's talk about life after South Grand Prairie. You broke a lot of records at South. You played quarterback and safety for a few years there. You took them on pretty good playoff runs. Go ahead and talk about the transition from high school to college.
Yeah, so getting to college, the biggest transition is there's a big structural change. You're on a very strict schedule. There's a lot of meetings, team meetings. The weight room is a lot different. The nutrition's a lot different. And I think the biggest thing from high school to college is you have to have discipline. You have to be a disciplined player in your free time and on your time, like with the coaching staff. Is that you have to be in the film room a lot, and but it's all been a journey. It's what I signed up for, and it's fun, and I'm just excited to get going this season.
So looking back on high school ball, what do you miss about Friday night football that you don't get on Saturdays?
Yeah, so the biggest thing is the community, because in high school, I always remember my head coach told me this. He told me this like my last day I was there. He said, man, college will give you a lot of great experiences. You're going to love college football, but you'll always look back and you're always going to miss high school football. There's just something about it. And when he said that, I didn't really believe him at the time, but it's so true. Like it's something about growing up with people that, your best friends since elementary, middle school, and then, Friday night lights is like the big thing in Texas football. And, you're on the varsity team, and there's just something about Friday nights with the community, the fans, everybody and then after the games, going out to eat with your teammates and all that stuff. It's definitely something that you'll remember forever and cherish.
Well, where we are right now is that you're at Iowa State. You got a lot of good things going for you. From what I've seen, it looks like you're going to be getting a starting gig or a good opportunity to get one. When you got there in spring ball, what was new to you when you got there?
The biggest thing would actually be the defense that we run. The defense that we run here, it's a little bit different than what I've played in previously, but it gives me a good opportunity to showcase my talent. I'm in a position where I can showcase my tackling skills, and then in certain coverages, and certain packages, then I'm kind of a down safety nickel kind of cover guy. So I really like that. It was different trying to adjust to the new defense and the play calling style and all that, but I adjusted pretty well. And yeah, as of now, I got the starting spot, and so hopefully carry that over into the season.
Now it's got to be exciting to be playing in the Big 12. What kind of teams do you look forward to playing against the most? I know you got some of your buddies. You got one of your old targets you used to throw the ball to when you played quarterback, Mr. Jalen Austin over at TCU. Go ahead and talk about, getting to play against some of your old teammates from high school.
Yeah, man, that's going to be awesome. I'm really excited for the Iowa game. It's a big rivalry here, and ever since I got here in January, that's all that's talked about here. And so the Iowa game, I'm really looking forward to. And then Big 12 play. Honestly, I grew up watching a lot of Big 12 games because of Texas. I grew up a big UT fan. I think every child that grows up in Texas initially starts out a UT fan. So playing those, being able to, dream about it as a kid and then actually play those teams, that's going to be a big dream of mine. And TCU, that's going to be a great game. There's Jalen's there, Atanza, another old teammate, Esteban. He blocked for me in high school. So TCU's going to be a big game. Baylor with Tony Nicholson, that's going to be a fun game as well.
Oh, yeah, I sure did forget about Tony down there at Baylor, man. Hey man, it's gonna be a fun time watching you on TV this year. It's nothing like watching you live and being on the sidelines and being there and interviewing you and then seeing you play on Saturdays. That's kind of rewarding for me to be able to see you on your journey. And I hope you go play on Sundays pretty soon. Okay, Mark, come on in, Mark.
Greg, thanks for joining us tonight. My first question is, talk about the change that a lot of people may not know about, going from Texas and going to Iowa. Iowa State is a new environment. Talk about that adjustment for you.
Okay, yeah. The biggest difference from Texas to Iowa State or Iowa in general, I'd probably have to say the weather. The people here are great. That's one of the biggest reasons why I chose Iowa State, because the coaches and the culture out here is just awesome. But the biggest adjustment is the weather, man. I remember when I first landed out here, when I drove out here, it was snowing. And so I was like, oh, man, this is cool. Like, I've hardly seen snow. Like, it's pretty awesome. But, man, when it gets to snowing for a week straight, it gets annoying. And, like, there was one week we had negative 30 degrees for, like, 3 days straight. And it's insane. But that's probably the biggest adjustment. It's just the weather, honestly.
All right, and my last question, and I'll toss it back to Matt. Talk about some of your personal goals this year and team goals that you guys are setting for the Cyclones this year.
Yeah, so personal goals, I definitely want to be first team all Big 12 safety. I think that'll be good for me as a sophomore, and then it'll give me good looks going into my junior year. And team goals are honestly to get a Big 12 championship. Another thing that I've realized once I got here is that the Big 12 championship will be played in AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, for the next 4 years. So, being able to go back home and play in the AT&T Stadium, that'd be awesome. So that's definitely a Big 12 All-American is one of my goals, and the team goals for sure is a Big 12 championship.
Man, what a great story you have, Greg. So we'll wrap this up real quick. I know you got a busy schedule. College football player life is very busy. I totally get that, and I understand. I know that you got a team cookout tomorrow night. And do you want to talk about some of the activities that your team is doing in the community right now?
Yeah. So actually, we had a couple tornadoes hit last week. We had I think 3 touchdown in a small town about 45 minutes from us called Marshalltown, and we actually had a team competition planned for that Saturday because our slogan here is Farm Strong, so we're gonna have some team competition thing on the farm, but we actually last minute we canceled that and we drove 45 minutes to Marshalltown to go help with the tornado cleanup. And that's something huge for me to experience, because it's one thing seeing the natural disaster on TV, but actually witnessing it and then being able to reach out to the community and help whoever's in need. That's something that's big. And our team, our coaching staff is really big on us reaching out and doing community service, which I think, as a teenager, you don't really think anything of it, but, giving back to the community is huge. And the more I do it, the more I enjoy it. So I think it's something that I'll carry on forever.
Now, Greg, the future is bright for you right now, and I'm going to go ahead and toss it to LL real quick. LL, you got anything to say to Greg before
Greg,
we let
have
him go?
a great season, and thank you so much for joining us. And I will be watching for you on Saturday afternoons.
Okay, thank you guys for having me.
And Greg, real quick before you leave, I'm going to give you an opportunity to give a shout out to anybody that you want to give a shout out to. If you want to give any, shout outs, here's your chance, brother.
All right. Shout out to my mom and dad. They helped me along this journey, along this way. They've been there by my side and they never left. They always give great advice. Shout out to Darius Williams, Isaac Minna. They're basically my brothers that I grew up with. And a shout out to Coach Whitson back at South Grand Prairie. Good luck this season, and thank you for everything you've done for me.
That's right, the SGP Warrior Nation. That's right. Well, Greg,
Yep.
I just want to tell you how happy we were to have you come on. I look forward to bringing you back on during the season to kind of talk about how the season's going. Mark, if you want to say anything to Greg before we let him go.
Greg, hey, good luck this season. Stay healthy. Man, represent for Texas up there, because hey, I think Iowa State's on the upcline. I really like what you guys did last year. I like the coach that you have, and man, keep in touch. We'll be following you definitely.
Yeah, appreciate that. I'll definitely keep in touch, man.
All right. You guys heard it here first. Greg Eisworth, safety, Iowa State. Greg, thanks a lot, brother.
Thank you.
All right. That's Greg Eisworth, ladies and gentlemen. Great kid, great story. Now we got Coach Tony Tademy, newly hired athletic coach at Grand Prairie High School, and he's the athletic coordinator at Grand Prairie High School, I believe. So we're going to go ahead and start it off. I'll let Mark kind of come in real quick, and Mark Henry, you can come in and talk to Coach real quick, because I'm gonna dive into Coach after you get done with him, Mark.
All right, Coach Tademy, first of all, congratulations on the job. Thanks for joining us tonight. My first question is, how's everything going? How have the kids adjusted to you and your new coaching staff, and how's the team chemistry so far?
Well, we didn't have spring football, but, I think everything's going well. We start practice here in a couple of weeks on August 6th, and I think everybody's going to be excited to get started.
Well, that sounds great. Coach, talk about your philosophy. What are you establishing so far with this group?
Well, I think the biggest thing is just the kids getting to know me and I'm getting to know them and getting to know the new coaching staff. And, everybody has their way of doing things. And Coach Bartell did a great job when he was here. And just the kids getting used to us and us getting used to them.
All right, Coach, and talk about some of your offensive standouts so far, first of all, and then give me some guys on defense that we should be looking for also.
Well, the great thing, watching tape from last year, we got some guys coming back, and, on offense, we got some guys coming back on defense. The most notable guy on defense, two guys getting really recruited is Adrian Taylor, the corner, and Suleiman Paca, defensive tackle. We didn't have pads in the spring, so I'm ready to get started fall camp.
All right, and my last question, and I'll toss it back to Matt. Grand Prairie, I think, is one of the most underlooked areas in the DFW. You get your Allens, your South Lake Carrolls, your Aledos. Some of these other places are getting that limelight and are in the mix playoff-wise now. You guys did touch the playoffs for first time in a long time next year. And just give us a little insight of how you're going to build off that, because the guys kind of got their feet wet with that, but now it's time to turn that over and, make it happen for Grand Prairie, because I think those guys, you have some hungry kids over there.
Yeah, no question. Going to the playoffs last year was excellent. It was great. And, anytime you have that happen, your kids are very excited. Going into this season, we're going to build it one step at a time. We're going to evaluate the personnel. We're going to evaluate practice every day, and we're going to put the kids in we feel the best position to win. And I'm very excited about getting started, and I can't wait.
It's a great story, Coach, so far, and I know we're about to have an even better story. Coach, I got to meet you back in March, and I'm very excited. I went to Grand Prairie High School. I know everybody at Grand Prairie and South. I'm an employee of Grand Prairie ISD. I'm a special ed teacher over at elementary school, so I'm plugged in the community just like you are, Coach. Kind of just talk about and tell everybody where you're from, where you went to high school, where you went to college, when you became a head coach, or when you even became a coach, and then your journey to become a head coach.
Wow. I'm from Jacksonville, Arkansas, where we were a 3A state champions my senior year. Played for the legendary Coach Bill Reed. Went to Louisiana Tech, played there, graduated from there, started coaching at Louisiana Tech as a student coach. My linebacker coach was a guy named Carl Torbush, who I have a lot of respect for, and Coach Billy Brewer. coached me my senior year, and they gave me the opportunity. They came to me after the season and said, "Hey, have you ever thought about being a coach?" And really, I had thought about it, and I started off as a student coach. Went to Ole Miss with Coach Brewer and Coach Torbus as a graduate assistant. My first full-time job was at Virginia Military Institute. I was there 3 years. Came back to Louisiana Tech as a full-time coach. Had a chance to coach at Louisiana Monroe. I was at Howard University for 3 years. I've been at Louisiana Lafayette. I've been at the University of Houston with Coach Helton. I remember Clay Helton, the quarterback. I remember Clay when he was just a freshman, and Tyson was young too. And then I had a chance to go work at McKinney. I worked with Rusty Dowling at Texas City when we won the state championship. Went to McKinney, then was at TCU from 2005 2012. Went to Duncanville for a short time, and then I became the new head coach at Katy Tompkins High School, which is in West Katy. And we started a brand new school, started a brand new program. We started out in 2013 as with freshmen and sophomores. Okay, and we played JV football. Then the next year we played 6A varsity football with no seniors. And you learn real quick when you're starting the program in that tough a conference that you got to dot your I's and cross your T's. And I really my hat's off to those kids to help us start the program. They're stuck in the program. You really learn about yourself as a coach on a daily basis when you have to play that kind of competition every week with no seniors. Great coaches, great players in that conference. Went to Henderson State last year. Was a defensive coordinator. Worked with a good friend of mine, Scott Maxfield, and then I've been here since April.
Well, Coach, I know that you have been on a long journey, and I know that everything that you've put in has geared you to be who you are today and has molded you. And do you want to just talk about the challenges and the goals that you look forward to this upcoming football season with the Gophers?
Yeah, there's no doubt that this district is one of the toughest districts in the state. Everybody in the district went to the playoffs last year. My goal is day by day, get better every day. We're going to ask of coaches, players to give 100%. We want to be disciplined. We want to be well conditioned, okay, and we want to be tough. I think you do that by every day. I'm pushing for that fact. I think the great thing about it is, it's really exciting when you start a new program. As the kids look at you and you look at them. But God's really blessed me to be here. I told the players in the first meeting I ever had with them, I said, guys, I am a Christian. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. And we're going to coach these young men like they're our sons. And we're going to work hard at what we do. We're going to be very proud to be at Grand Prairie. I'm very happy and very excited, very humbled to be here at Grand Prairie High School. And our expectation is to give it 100% every day. We call it the Gopher family. I told the players in our first meeting with the parents in the spring, I told the parents, I said, hey, you are a part of this Gopher family with your sons. And that's what we want here. We want the chemistry to be a family. We want to work together. We want to work hard together. And we do want to win. And we're going to do it one step at a time. And, I've had a chance to be around a lot of great coaches, a lot of, great guys that have won a lot of games and started programs. So in here, we're going to do as coaches what we feel are the best we can for our kids.
Amen to that, Coach, and amen to you being a Christian. I'm a Christian as well, and I'm proud of it.
Excellent.
I just want to talk real quick about the impact that you've made already. When I came over there in March and I sat down in your office and I spoke with you, before I walked in your office, I saw a parent and their son talking to you, and you were really giving a good speech to them, and you were letting them know, hey, this is what I expect. This is what I would like for you to do, and I need you to meet this standard. And they agreed, and we'll see if they're able to do it. You just want to talk about the impact that you've been able to make with these parents starting off at Fresh Start?
Well, it's been great for me because everybody that I hear is new, and of course I was at TCU for 7 years, and the people here in this area, a lot of people are connected with TCU, and they always ask me a lot of questions. But I think the biggest thing is when we had the parent meeting in the spring, we had a couple parent meetings, and when we talk about the Gopher family, from administration, from the principal, all the way down to coaches, players, I think that's what we preach, and that's what we really want to be about, and we want to win together. And let me say this, man, we don't want to just win on the field. We want to win off the field. We talk about academics. We talk about doing what's right. I have a motto: do what's right, treat people right, and everything will be all right. And that's what we're going to try to do every day. And as coaches, we're husbands, fathers, and we want to, and I want coaches here and on our staff that enjoy coming to work every day like I will, and I do.
Yeah, I mean that's a great way to start your foundation with a new school, a new team. I think it's pretty cool how a lot of your players have already bought in. Your defense, you have a lot of good players on defense that are returning. Offense, I know it's a little different because offense lost a little bit more than defense, but offense I think will be fine. Do you want to talk about the schedule that you guys have? And I know you have Louisville, and you want to talk about the other two non-district games that you guys have coming up.
Well, I tell you what now, we've got 2 scrimmages, and I'm taking it one step at a time because like I said before, we didn't have spring ball, so I'm really excited just to get on the football field, and so we can start putting this thing together. From the first scrimmage, from Irving to Arlington, Lamar, and Louisville, Mesquite. We're going to take it one game at a time. Hey, when you, I don't know if I've ever played in a conference or district where everybody made it to the playoffs. So it's going to be a tough district. We know it's going to be a tough district. So we're going to put our head down and we're going to march one step at a time.
Yeah, Coach, a lot of state championship history from Cedar Hill, and then recently with DeSoto, and then you got Mansfield, and Mansfield Summit, and then Mansfield Lake Ridge are coming up from 5A along with Waxahachie. So it's going to be intriguing because there's also new coaches at other schools in your district. So it's not just a runaway district like, DeSoto is going to be really good. Well, they got a new coach over there too, and so does Waxahachie. So I feel like you guys are going to be just fine. And a lot of people were counting you guys out, but I think that your defense is going to be so strong that you're going to be just fine. And Coach, I don't know if you have any shout-outs or anything, but this is the point of the show where we give you a chance to shout out anything that you would like to talk about.
Well, hey, I want to give a shout-out to all the Gopher fans out there. And, hey, we're so excited. I'm so blessed to be here. And I want the Gopher family, the fans, to come support these young men every week. We're going to give our best. And, hey, I'm proud to be a Gopher.
Well, I'm happy. I'm really happy. And me and my dad were super excited when you got hired because we were like, yeah, man, he's got college experience. He knows what he's doing. And then when I got to go speak with you, I was like, yeah, he really knows what he's doing. So it's going to be fun to see these kids buy in. And it's going to be fun to see the kids from last year's team take a leadership role underneath you. So, yeah, no problem. LL, if you want to have a chance to talk to Coach real quick.
Yeah. Let's see.
LL,
Okay,
there?
there we go. Yeah. Coach, I am really,
Okay.
I'm not familiar with your program. So this is really great hearing that you're trying to not just build leaders on the field, but leaders off the field. And I think that is just so important, the culture that you're trying to establish there. So I wish you the best with that, and God bless you and your team this fall.
Thank you very much.